First of all, I want to say thank you to Ms. Miller and to Mr. Bowie on the little crisis yesterday that they so quickly fixed. So thank you for that. I'm here to talk about a grant application through the COPS hiring program. This is an opportunity very much like last year to hire 4 deputies with the federal government paying 75% of their salaries and benefits for 3 years. The county would have a 25% match for those 3 years and would be required to pay the full amount for the 4th year, but they're not committed. You're not committed beyond the 4th year. So many times before you had to sign a commitment to continue it indefinitely. So over the 3-year period, the maximum the federal government would pay per position is $125,000. We don't feel like that's going to be any problem if this should be approved with the current salaries and benefits. Probably the best thing about this grant is it must be a veteran that joined the military after September 11, 2001. So it has to be a veteran that you offer the job to and hire. And again, it's not quite as good as the grant last year, which would have been 100%, but we did eventually get turned down for that. But for this, it would be an opportunity for you to hire 4 people at a 25% cost. Now, in addition to the 25% cost is, of course, the cost of the vehicles and the equipment, but the salaries would be a 75% match from the federal government.
So these have to be road deputies. They can't serve in any other capacity.
Correct. Law enforcement officers on the road.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve this grant coming from the Sheriff's Office through the COPS hiring program as presented.
I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, sir. I think I want to just say I think it's just as good as the presentation you had last year, and for one really excited reason, because we get an opportunity to hire veterans. As you know, there's so much talk in the news about folks coming back home, our military men and women, service people coming back home, not being able to find suitable employment or employment at all. And this gives an opportunity to bring who best to put in a patrol car than a former service man or woman patrolling the streets of Rockdale County. So this is a big move in the right direction in terms of our military personnel. And as all of you all know, we have several people in our community who are serving in the armed forces, and a lot of those folks are looking to transition out once they completed their duties. So I'm really in favor. I think this is a really good step in the right direction, especially for our military personnel and for Rockdale as a whole.
Any further discussion?
Well, I'd just like to say I'm certainly in support of the endeavors that you have for this program, and I think that a lot of your staff members who work on these grants, I really appreciate their effort, because this is a priority for us as a board of commissioners. Is just the safety and welfare of our residents. So, and
there is no guarantee that we get it, but we have to have your approval to move forward in the application process.
Sure. Sheriff, let me just ask one other question. In the event, and we hope that we get this grant, do you have any discretionary funds available to support any of this moving forward to help the county with, whereas we're as strapped as we are, you've heard the overwhelming support here that we are in favor of it, but I just wanted to ask you, while you're here, do you have any funding available that could go toward supporting this grant?
Other than budget monies that we might be able to use for a portion of it. I mean, obviously, you know, it would be approved several months down the road. So it would be a portion of this year's budget that we would have to commit to. And I think we could come up with some monies, hopefully, through our budget. But as far as outside monies, no.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Excuse me. Yes.
I also wanted to know, and I didn't have a chance to talk to the sheriff.
Please come forward, please.
I did not have a chance to speak to the sheriff, Frank Wilson, Department of Fire Rescue. Mr. Wigington, I want to make sure that you know we will be looking at the 911 and our discretionary funds to assist with the communication portions as well. One of his deputies had called us earlier today. We got delayed. We're not able to get back to you. So we will be working to assist with the communication side of that for the patrol vehicles and the officers.
Thank you.
That is outstanding there, the collaboration between the fire chief and the sheriff working together as a team for the good of public safety in Rockdale County. Chief, we certainly appreciate you on that.
We have similar haircuts.
Thank you. Similar haircuts. You going to go all the way, Jeff, or not? You going to go all the way or not?
It's just a matter of time.
We definitely want to, in further discussion before I call for the question here, this administration has been committed from day one to ensure the safety and well-being of the community, and we have demonstrated that over the number of years in terms of our budget increases to the Public Safety Department. And we will continue to work on the fire and rescue and E911 because we're going to put ourselves in such a good position that coming into the future, we will be the first in the state, if not in the country, first in the state to have a P25 system going forward. And that's huge, ladies and gentlemen. That protects the health, safety, and welfare of our citizens in Rockdale County. So I want to say thank you. And we support this CHP program pending the outcome will come forth, right? Of course, it's out of our hands. Our job is to approve this going forward and then hope that the federal government sees fit to provide us for these veterans, and then we can move forward. So I want to thank you. So I'm going to call for the question at this time. Call for the question, ladies and gentlemen. Commissioners. I have a motion and a second. Is that correct? That's correct. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried unanimously. Thank you so very much. At this time, Madam Rutledge, do we have a need for public comment?